OPL, we are in week number 9, so it's time for some predictions. Usually, in the past, I've done this as an article. I decided I want to expand my YouTube channel a little bit, so I'm going to do this as a video. A couple other people have been doing videos, you should check them out. Dookie Jenkins, Link's Ancestor, those are the two main ones that come to mind. I'll make sure to link their videos in the descriptions and possibly the tweet when I tweet this out. Maybe not, or I'll just tweet them both separately. But if you want to check out their predictions, do so. r/Smite, the subreddit for Smite, also has a weekly competitive thread where the moderators do their own predictions there. So if you want some more opinions, go check them out. My personal theory is the more opinions you can get, the more well-informed you'll be, the better decisions you can make. So don't, take our word as law and make up your own minds, make your own decisions. The best thing you can do is, watch the VODs, learn the teams, and decide for yourself who you think is going to win. That obviously is not always possible. People don't have always the time or anything like that to commit to it. So hence why we make these predictions video. So I'm just going to go ahead and, no, I don't want curse. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the schedule for this week. The first game, I believe, is Insight versus Llamas in Pajamas. Now, this matchup previously went the way of Insight, 2-0, and I see it going the same way again. Reason for this is Insight haven't lost a game since week 3, as in they've been 2-0 since week 3, and even in week 3, they split. The only time they've gone 0-2 in this split has been in week 1 up against Deadweight, who they just 2-0'd last week. There is nothing in the evidence suggests that Insight should drop a game here. However, Llamas split with Pandemonium last week, and nothing in the evidence showed that they should have split there. I'm still calling this one Insight 2-0, but there's a possibility for a split. Llamas taking this 2-0 would probably be the biggest upset of the split, and I don't see that happening at all. No offense to the Llamas, they're great players, they're just not on Insight's level at the moment. I don't think anyone is on Insight's level at the moment. As we saw last week with Deadweight, they couldn't compete. Insight 2-0. So that's what I'm calling again for this week. Insight gonna 2-0. Reasons for this, as I said, they're just simply better than their opponents. They've got really good pick and ban phase. They always seem to get a team composition that works. Biggie's one of the best Smite brains in OCE, and probably starting, with his experience, starting to become a really big Smite brain compared to other players in the rest of the world as well. We'll have to see how they go with some international competition, hopefully at some point. I think the players are mechanically very good. It's hard. It'd be hard for me to put other players over these players in their roles, except for probably in the mid lane. I think Ochida's probably still the best mid laner. I think Laney's probably the best ADC. Kiki in the jungle. If Ro was still jungling, he'd be the best jungler, but I don't think another jungler is actually as good as Kiki, which is surprising since Kiki hasn't been playing for jungle for all that long. We'll have to see how that goes, though. I think Kiki's a very good player, and he's just going to keep getting better and better as the year goes on, which should be scary for most teams. And, when he starts to learn the jungle role a bit better, it's going to be terrifying for other teams. I think Beast is the best solo laner right now. There's a lot of competition in the solo lane, actually, so that a lot of that does come down to matchups, but I think the majority of the time the Beast will come out on top. I think Biggie is by far and away the best support in OC. I don't think there's any competition there. Mid lane, still probably Ochida's the best mid laner, and he's on Team Pandemonium. Yada, though, starting to catch up. He's got his own unique play style in the mid lane, or unique within the context of OCE anyway, in that he likes to play a lot of ADCs in the mid lane. So, he's got his own style. It's a bit hard to compare him and Ochida, who definitely prefers more mages, but I still think Ochida overall is the better player. Alright, so Insight, I feel, going to 2-0 that one. Next up, we've got Corvidae up against Team Pandemonium. Now, Team Pandemonium, I believe, has had some roster shakeups this week. I don't know if that's public yet or not, so I won't go into too much detail about it. I'll let them talk about it themselves. However, I think Pandas should 2-0 this one. Actually, sorry. I know Pandas will 2-0 this one, because Corvidae hasn't picked up a game or split. They've had their own roster troubles. They had to come in halfway through, underprepared. It's almost the worst situation you could be in trying to compete in a pro league. Pandas, while they're the third place team and have dropped off in terms of their dominance of the region, still a really good team in OCE. And Corvidae just aren't at this point. I think their Corvidae is outmatched across the board in this game, and Pandas should 2-0 this one. Pandas will 2-0 this one. That's like I used to say should, or I see it being this way. This is the first time I'm really kind of like, putting my foot down, saying this will happen. And if it doesn't, well, I don't know. I'll do something crazy. Probably not, but people say that they'll eat their hat, they eat their shoe or something. I'm not that dumb. I'm not going to commit myself to eating a fucking shoe, but whatever, you do you. But Pandemonium will 2-0 this one. Last matchup of the week is going to be Deadweight up against Avant-Garde. Avant-Garde has showed that they can compete with the top level teams, but can never seem to find the victory. The only time they have has been a split with Insight, and that was before Insight changed their roster to their current one. More recently, they did get 2-0'd by Insight again. They were 2-0'd previously by Deadweight. They're 0-4 up against Team Pandemonium. I see them being 0-4 going up against Deadweight as well. I don't think Deadweight should drop a game here on out. They've got a relatively easy schedule for the rest of the way. That being said, I have heard on the grapevine that Deadweight has been struggling in scrims, and the common knowledge is kind of that Deadweight tilt very easily. Similar things can be said about players on Avant-Garde as well. I think if Avant-Garde draft correctly and pick an early game heavy composition, which is a little bit more viable with the removal of power pots, I think that if they establish a dominance in the early game, they could take a game from Deadweight, but the smart money is still a 2-0 for Deadweight. Deadweight have just got some fantastic players on their team, and it's been pretty incredible to watch their performance this split. Alright, so that's the official predictions for this week. To recap, 2-0 Insight, 2-0 Pandemonium, 2-0 Deadweight. That last one, the 2-0 Deadweight, that one's got the highest chance of being a split. However, I still see it being a 2-0 to Deadweight. Alright, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be doing some more regular YouTube content. If you watched that montage I put up the other day, I am so sorry. That was mainly just a test of some things. But also I said on stream I was going to make a dank MLG montage. And I'm a man of my word most of the time, so I decided to do it. And you know what? It's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back, but I don't regret it at all. Thank you very much for tuning in, though. Hopefully I'll do some more predictions for next week and some LAN predictions. After that, maybe even some Challengers Cup Finals predictions. We'll just see how we go in terms of time and all that. Alright, thanks. Bye.